There we go. Hello. Yeah. um, oh, already. Incredible. Thank y'all. Hi, Bung, I passed my exams. Good job, you get Salim Maglue. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that name. Holy fuck. It's 3 in the fucking morning. Why? Someone's always gonna be unhappy with my streaming time. There's no escape from it. Yo, Bung, keep being you, loving the streams. Thank you, Raji. Yoda Krillin. Thank you, my little circus. Space isn't the best place for a cat, but he seems to be doing just fine. Bunkus got 1,000,000 Subway sandwiches, that's Tokyo. Now, 1 mil is the final measurement of a sandwich. You could get 6 inches, 12 inches, or 1,000,000 inches. Hagrid looking kind of swag. I have to agree. That guy got drip, bottom right. Yeah, not me. Weeb boy, please give me a shout out. Yeah, well, I don't know if that's the shout out you want, where you're asking for a shout out. I don't know how many people will be like, damn, glad he shouted out that guy. It's pronounced Yeet, not joking. Yeet Salimaglu. Are you from Eastern Europe or something? It's 4 a.m. Why now? Well, I'm not working on your time, I'm working on my time. And vibing on my time as well. I'm sorry. Hey from Denmark. Hey with a J from Australia. The image is giving me a fever dream. Oh, I like these images, they're a nice vibe. How's Mustard Man going? Nearly finished. Oh man, thank you for the $8 Rex Scrubs. Mustard Man has died. I don't want to be the one to tell you this, but Mustard Man has died. From Turkey. Ah, close enough. Salam, Yeet. Salam, Yeet. From Australia. Welcome to the stream. Hey, CO0bRV08ZMc. Well, I'm glad I could help. I'm glad I could help contribute to your confidence in some way. When it's confirmed coming out, you're just gonna have to be patient. Donkey will sink in quicksand, but a mule won't. Is that true? Thank you, Paragon123. Man, a lot to think about. How do Australian time zones work? I saw somewhere y'all have 30-minute differences in places. 30-minute differences in places? I don't know what you mean. Yeah, isn't that how time zones are divided by? Like 30-minute chunks? Yeah, I think Russia has like 9 time zones or something. Aggressive bears? You're just gonna have to be patient. And my bum is doing fine. Right now, at least. Mustard Man death. How long did it take to reach 1 subs? But one subs? 1 subs, man. Oh man, I got 1 sub. I don't know. I'm not actively trying to reach it, so maybe if I was actively trying to reach it, I would care about how long it is, but because I don't care, I don't remember how long it's been. So I'm just gonna say 3 years. I haven't even bothered what is it? Getting my other play buttons, the ones leading up to 1 million subs. I have 10 ounces of ketamine in my car. Would you like some? You crazy. Oh, thank you, spaghetti. I'm not gonna say that word, but yeah. Hey, thank you, Dr. Brenner, for the $3. Whoa, here we go. Hey, have any other ideas come to mind for an animation series not involving SCP? Keep the good work. Please don't overwork yourself. Thanks for the $5, Cyberdrunk HD. I did, but not ones I'm taking too seriously, you know, because I want to focus on what I'm doing right now. And if I give myself too many projects, it stretches myself out thin, and I don't end up having any particular passion for any of them. So, just trying to do 1 or 2 things at a time, you know. Or do a bunch of things, but be mostly committed to one of them. Damn, must a man never dead, for you eat this mustard is his blood, and eat this mustard and it is his body. It is so true. It's so true how his blood and body is made of the same viscosity. Thank you, the Pan Man. Thank you, Leb Kuche. Thank you, Jonah Wickham. It's bung time. Why do you only do streams? You used to do awesome SCP containment stuff. I do. It just takes a long time to make. Why is it so hard for people to grasp this? I think it has to do with how often I'm streaming now. It just makes it seem like it takes even longer because you could count how many streams are in between an episode. But I'm still making the confinement stuff. Also, when people say containment, I'm not really sure. Should I take them seriously as real fans, or is it a... you know what I mean? Ever played Darkest Dungeon? Hi from New South Wales. Hey, Comrade Katu, thanks for the $5. I haven't actually. I used to live in New South Wales. Man, it's because I'm out of there right now. Poop sock. On the road to 10 mil. Oh, I'm not trying. Oh, man. Nah, none of that. Remember the first stream of yours on YouTube, and the format hasn't changed too much from it. Yeah, this is how I like to do things. Just simple. Basically have a mood board up here. Just talking. Yeah, maybe somebody will be online on Discord and I can bring them into the call and we could talk. Let's see who's awake. Which one of my mutuals? Yeah. People who say containment are not confinement fans, but maybe SCP fans. Yeah, well, I mean, when people say containment in reference to my work specifically, I'm like, huh? Like, why are you asking questions if you can't even get the name right? You know, like, I would really love it if you'd made another episode of Containment. It's like, would you really? You don't even know the name. Thank you for the $10. YouTube demonetized me, bonk. Thanks for the $15. Rex Scrubs, bro, SCP ID, you don't have to pay. There's this man, or like a guy who possesses abilities such as being made out of mustard or something, just spitballing here. Damn, you're committed. Yeah, maybe I'll make a mustard man one day. Why not? I don't see why not. What's your opinion on the Great British Bake Off? I don't watch it, I'm sorry. Thank you, Scribble. Animation is harder than create relationship with girl. so sorry. It's amazing. Oh, thank you, Audrey Maxine. Yeah, I forget I exist sometimes too. But trust me when I say this, I am still working on confinement. I was working on it today. I was actually streaming it to my my merchandise lady. She's real cool. She wants to help draw some backgrounds for me because she's been able to prove that she could try. And so I just had a live stream session where I just showed her how I make all my backgrounds. Well, I didn't quite finish it though. To be continued on that one. Oh, is that my cat? Let's see. Today I slept in because I farmed in Azure Lane till 3 AM and accidentally turned off the alarm and thought I missed AP class when it was English class. I missed. Lol. How's your day? My day is alright. I worked on a couple of environments today for confinement, and I drew a model. Which, it was a cat boy, which is it's for confinement though. Don't worry. Gonna head out now. Don't worry, I'll be back next stream to ask about Mustard Man. Thank you for the bicep pineapple. Thank you for the $8 Rex Scrubs. I appreciate it. Mustard Man will live on in this way through us talking about them. Will episode 8 be out before the end of the world? Cannot promise that. You should make an app where Bright and Connor. Where Bright and Connor. Do you have friends to help with animation? Yeah, I have a friend and I guess an employee who helped animate half of the last episode, episode 7. And he's helping me with this episode, of course. I remember that video where you said that the people that claim to be an alternative to Big Pharma make a lot of money selling unregulated products for spreading disinformation. Yeah, but I was very narrowly informed at that time. I didn't realize that there's actually an enormous spectrum of medicinal products that do work regardless of whether they're attached to a big pharmaceutical industry. And also, I feel like, you know, looking back on that episode, I could have also talked about Big Pharma, but I didn't know shit about it. I was just, at the time, I was just like this really angry atheist kid who was like, you fucking hippies, you idiots, believing in idiot stuff. Just so y'all know, I'm pasting my favorite comments into my to my Patreon chat. Or is this? I thought that used to be a stream chat. I look back, the first thing I read is, does it get you hard? What the fuck are you talking about? Man. Damn. How long till next confinement episode is here? Because I'm hyped for it. You gotta be patient. It'll be out when it's out. I don't know when it's coming out, I'm just making it. Do you have any further plans for the characters from episode 6 and 7, or are they out of the picture? I don't want to spoil that for you. You're gonna have to just wait and see. Hey, Jared. Jared Doodle. Episode 8 part 2 also mustard. How long does it take for you to make an episode? It certainly takes a while. It seems to be taking longer and longer each time I make an episode, but the episode seems to come out better quality each time. That seems to be the popular consensus, and I think that they're better each time. And I know that they're definitely more complicated each time. So it's really hard to say because it's gonna be it's definitely already been longer than how long it took me the last episode. But it's going to take longer, you know, that just seems to be the trend. Swagger was just vibing there. Do you have any current inspirations, art or otherwise? Okay, Miko Kitty. Let me think. Super Science Friends was my very first inspiration when I started doing animations on YouTube. So definitely go check them out. Super Science Friends. I have a playlist on my channel where I go back and forth between their episodes and my episodes in a playlist. Just definitely check that out. What else? A lot of things actually inspire me. Every movie I've seen growing up, basically. Hey, Mig. Thank you very much. Yoda looks stoned. He's not the only one. Bro, everyone is saying, when's the new episode? Yeah, I'm used to it. And every now and then I choose to answer the same question a million times because some people genuinely don't seem to know. So I'm just gonna keep doing it. Oh, Grung, I got an idea. You know, Reanimated collabs, right? Would it be okay for someday in the future someone to host a Reanimated Confinement episode 1? Because that might be cool. What? That's such a sweet idea. That sounds really good. I think that'll definitely be up for conversation. Although I do want to hire more animators for bits that are animated very differently from how I animate. You know, trippy bits and all that. I'm gonna say it. I dislike Lord the Bung. You're so full of spirituality and thoughts, bro. Who do you think you are? It's all good. That's my friend Lars. He's a meme. You remind me of a YouTuber named Breeze who does a lot of streams. Ah, that's a good name. Are you thinking of making podcasts or something like that? It's not a bad idea. I wouldn't know what to talk about though. Probably spirituality and life and shit. Sucks that everyone only ever wants to know about episode 8. From now on, everyone spam with questions about Anomalies episode 2 instead. Who's your favorite Super Science Friends character? Charles Darwin, definitely. How did you make a song about Nazi Supercatcher? I didn't have any involvement in making any episode of Super Science Friends. I'm just friends with them. Are you on drugs? Next question. Hey Bung, how's the lucid dream effort going? Oh, sorry, I wasn't trying to learn to lucid dream. I don't know why, it doesn't super interest me. Unless it's really easy, then maybe. Damn, is that how I talk? You have to do me like that. I mean, your voice is better than mine in terms of your accent. Uh-oh, someone out here typing in Cyrillic. Yeah, a lot of people here, obviously not everyone, but a lot of people here do like to type in languages other than English, and I'm like, do they know? Or do they think that there's a translator that's just not working on their end? Characters do you voice? I voice Connor, I voice Dr. Wilson, General Marcus, Sana, the girl on the iceberg, Ian the robot, Ferdinand the cannibal, and a bunch of extras. Oh, and oh no, I forgot his name. The puppet guy, the Canadian puppet. Yo Mama Lee's? Is that right, my little circus? Yo Mama Lee's? Do you believe in destiny? Sometimes. I believe more in a, I believe it's more realistically a balance. You know, as I say in, Duck Gently, destiny, chance and fate are not mutually exclusive. And I think that's really true. I think everything in the universe is sort of, removing identity from human beings. Everything in the universe is just different things pushing up against each other, and the stronger thing wins and the weaker thing loses. And so every now and then you're going to run into something you cannot change, and you're going to have to accept it. But there are loads of things you can change. So trying to find the balance of how much you're willing to let go of control and how much you're willing to control is what Taoism is all about. So that's how I look at it. I don't think it's exclusively fate and exclusively chance. It has to be both, otherwise you can't identify the difference between fate and chance. How do we even know those two things even exist if both of them... that was a weird way to put it. We know what fate and chance are, so they both have to exist. You know what I mean? Because there are definitely moments in our life when we feel in control. Definitely moments in our life when we don't. However, if you're going to strictly identify in your own human body, and you're going to put yourself in scenarios in which you as a human being are going to fail, then, well, that sucks, you know? That's going to suck. You're going to set yourself up for failure there. But if you put yourself in realistic scenarios, or if you are not super attached to the idea of your own identity when you fail, then you're not going to feel so shitty. That's my opinion, at least. Nice rocket. Thank you. I went to the zoo a few days ago after 6 years, and I was shocked to see no orangutans or any primates in general. The zoo is a scam. I agree, redacted. Thank you, Michael Rutledge. If I get a cool haircut like you, will I make awesome videos too? You don't need a silly little haircut to make videos, although it does help. I just made it because I just did this haircut because I like it. And if doing your hair the way you like it helps with your confidence and your decision making, then it'll definitely help. How chill is this stream? 1 out of 10. Wow. I'd say this stream is pretty chill. But that is relative, I suppose. Tips for leaving home for the first time. I've moved out to go to uni in a month's time and I'm spooked. What are you spooked about? Just like living on your own? Well, there were always fallbacks, you know. I suppose I don't know what country you live in, so maybe there aren't any. But realistically, there'd be a few fallbacks that you can go to ask for help. It'll go pretty alright, I'm sure. Didn't know Swagwood was joining the stream. I can't keep him away, Kyle. Poor Bumug, going through space for months in his little rocket and still no planets to land on. There aren't any left. No more planets. Why are you streaming? Is your homework done? Yes, Mom. One time I had sleep paralysis about Minecraft mobs when I was 4, and I still remember it like it was last year. I was born in 2009. Holy moly, what are you doing in this here stream? You got rid of the yee haircut and got some animators on your show? Good for you. That was a long time ago. What's the yee haircut? 7 out of 10 chillness. You should do a live stream where you're working on animations while answering questions. That's... those are always... not always the worst, but I don't feel like it. I only do it when I really feel like it because I can't read the stream and draw at the same time. I end up missing quite a lot. People don't seem to get that. You know, unless you've drawn on stream and you have this many people talking in chat before, then you probably don't understand. It's not easy. Also, I'm high. I can't do both at the same time. I'm gonna be drawing for like 10 minutes straight and ignoring questions, and then I'm gonna look back and look at the questions for 10 minutes straight. Yeah, I could change these drawings up. I just like them right now. What can I find? Yeah, right. I'll put on this one. There we go. You can freely ask your questions in the Discord server and its dedicated channel if you become a patron. Support your lord. Thank you, Laws. Yeah. There we go. Unless you record yourself animating, then play it back while commenting and interacting with the stream, maybe. But that seems like a lot. Oh, I see what you mean. Like, I record my screen when I do work and I play it back. I don't work like that is the problem. When I do work, it's kind of spread out over a long period of the day because I'm doing a bunch of other things in between. Like, because I don't remember to just get up and stretch after working for 45 minutes, which you're supposed to do. I just have a bunch of chores, and then I like, oh, I feel like doing that now, and then I go and vacuum the hallway or something, or I clean up the cat kitty litter, or I make myself some lunch or something. And that helps me stay active throughout the day while I work. So the work is kind of like the anchor throughout the day, and everything else is just whatever the fuck I feel like. Or whatever the fuck I feel like I can do that I know I still have to do, but I fully accept that it's part of my lifestyle. I am lonely. I'm so sorry that you are lonely, Arax. Please make Connor drip. Oh, I should actually. Oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to write that down now. Draw Kana swag. Because without spoiling anything for this next episode, you're gonna see a lot of a big variety of Kana fashions. But I have the last day of my test. It's hard, so wish me luck. Good luck, Skull Dude 1083. I've been seeing you around here a lot lately. Pretty swag, if I do say so myself. It was the hardest animated episode you ever made. The last one. That's gonna be my question. My answer to that question every time. Whatever the one I just did, it's always gonna be the hardest because I'm always making it harder. Thank you, Lish. Connor Drip. What was it like working with the Vulcan? He's pretty funny. He's fun. He's cool. Y'all should hang out with him. Like that's it. Like that's an easy option. Yeah, he popped in my Patreon chat last night. We just watched movies. He's a cool guy. He's got a really good voice. Alright, see ya, Bot Longa. Bot Longa, what a name. Bot Longa. Swag. Glad that I could catch the stream. I'm glad that you could join the stream. New YouTube account, by the way. Hell yeah. Getting the new tubes. I do have to admit that every time I open YouTube Studio to stream, I do say I'm in the stew. I thought I should let y'all know. Hey, Soviet Union, welcome back. Add Goku drip next to swag grid. I preferred swag drip. I do like the Goku drip and all the memes and the funny memes that he's created with his friends. But swag grid is where it's at right now. Because I saw it, my boyfriend sent it to me, and I laughed so hard that I felt embarrassed that I could laugh so damn hard over anything in my life. What's your favorite SCP? That's a good question, James Woods. Thinking. There's cockroaches that imitate the most dominant predator in the room. And so if it was in the environment, I don't remember the SCP number, sorry. If it was in any environment, if there was like a wildcat or something, it would begin to slowly over time change into that cat and adopt the characteristics of it, and then eventually the physical attributes. And so reading the SCP file is really cool because the doctor is hanging out with all these cockroaches in a big chamber, and he's noticing that the cockroaches are getting smarter and walking around like humans, and he gets that, like, oh, they see me as the dominant predator, but then it gets real scary. Hi, I'm from America. My pronouns are cowboy and gun. All right, gun self. Welcome to stream. When next stream with boyfriend? That was a vibe. You know, he's in America, and I kind of kept him up a bit late, so he is sleeping right now. But maybe next time. How is thine cat? Cat very good. He takes big shits though, and he's forgetting to cover them up, you know, to bury it. He isn't burying the hat shit. The cat shit, I should say. Hello from Italy. Hey, buonasera. Hello. Buongiorno, yeah. I didn't know you had a boyfriend. A lot of stuff you don't know about me. What type of music do you listen to? Lately, I've been getting into some Lonely Islands again. Not gonna lie. Hey, LM Roblox. Episode 8 will come out when it comes out. You're just gonna have to be patient. I don't know when it's coming out. I'm just making it. and it takes a while. I'm sorry. Wait, you're not in America? No. Listen to that accent. It flows so beautifully. Cannot be American. When I do kana, in my mouth, it is noticeably sharper to speak than in my regular accent. Like, oh geez, I'm Connor. Like I have to open my mouth even wider than normal. It's so weird. Like, oh boy, time to go out and play some video games with my girlfriend. Oh geez. Well, I guess you're my little PogChamp now. Fine. I guess you're my little PogChamp. Come here. That's kinda saying the funny. Hello from Greece. Calamera, am I right, guys? Don't know what Calamera is. But welcome to my stream. Got some pretty cool gods over there in Greece. Some very funny Greek myth stories I'm a big fan of. Confinement 8 now available on YouTube Red. He can't be American. There's no gun in the background of his video. Like, you've seen how I animate guns in confinement. I have no idea how they fucking work. Thank you, LM Roblox. I appreciate that. Please help me in class, and I hate it. Bad subject, even worse teacher. Ah, Robotron T. That sucks. Yeah, bad teacher's always the worst. Really makes you want to put off whatever it is they're talking about. But it doesn't sound like you like the subject anyway, so. You know, what's valuable is listening, but not necessarily obeying. Just listening. You know, you might find something interesting in there, even if it's completely irrelevant to what they are trying to say. Read any Rick Riordan books, Bung? No, sorry, I do not know them. What are you drinking? Just a little bit of beep beep juice. Bye, buenas noches, au revoir. Why are there so many languages in this chat? Je ne parle français. No comprende español. Because I have an international audience, and English is the most popularly spoken language on the planet. Not by me, obviously, because I said speaking. Yeah, here we go. At this point, episode 8 is the biggest meme in your community. I think that might be true. And some of it isn't a meme. Some of it is dead serious people. Hopefully the queue will be released in brackets for Corona. Yeah, hopefully. Traumatic aside, love your work, pop them, just spread the good word. I've gotta go. I have come to bring you the news that I have shown your work to my family and they are impressed. Thank you, K-So-K. I appreciate that. Hey Bong, beep beep juice. Hey Lord Bung, is the Rocket Cam a Season 8 drawing? I don't know what you mean by Season 8 drawing. Season 8 of what? Here's a smile for your great content. Thank you, Thonk Tonk. Is episode 8 the last step? No, there are 2 more after that. And probably like shorter videos around them. You drinking heroin? I call it beep beep juice too. Okay, interesting. That would be an interesting stream. Hey, love your content. The stream is comfy background noise while I'm studying. Good. I'm glad. That's sort of the vibe. I was going for. Not that I'm gonna judge anyone for using the stream any other way. If this is your workout stream or something, be very inappropriate, I think. But you know that works. Bung, Connor MILF Hunter? I'm very tired. I will not sleep until you give a straight answer. Connor MILF Hunter. I think a lot of people don't know this, but Natalie Powers is 45 years old, and she's a MILF. That's not true. Please don't. It's very not true. I remember when Bung used to look like Lord Bung back in 2016. What does that mean? Hello, hello. Cameron Brotherton. It'll be out when it's out. I'm sorry, I don't have an exact time. I legit just found your channel a few hours ago and I watched all of the SCP stuff. It's cool that you're streaming today. You are a really good animator on YouTube. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Reagan Casperson. That's really sweet of you to say. Ah yes, episode 8. Just like the 8 hours of sleep that I'm not having. Excellent. Hey Bung, love your confinement work. Keep it up. Working on surrealism, which I thought would be really boring, but is actually really interesting. Oh, thank you. And yeah, surrealism is fun. I genuinely think surrealism is trying to get at a very deep kind of sense of deconditioning that we have about art and the world in general. And it sounds so fucking wanky, I know, the way I'm saying this. But surrealism really forces you to accept that subjectivity is a much bigger thing in this reality than we like to think it is. Natalie is an 87-year-old woman with 5 kids, all in college. She's working at the SCP facility to pay off her kids' student debts. I just miss Bung Chronicles. Yeah, I sometimes do. And thank you, Mayo Dadude. Alright, see you, Robotron T. Thank you, Cameron Brotherson. How tempted would you be to dress up as swag bread for your next stream? I can't wear a beard for a whole stream. Hello, Adam Janicki. Or Janishki. Someone in YouTube comments was telling people they were going to hell, so I said I'd make God call me daddy. They went to my Instagram DMs. Skullface. Rest in peace, Lish. Are you doing well? Yeah, I'm doing alright. I got a few aches here and there, but that's not unusual. I'm trying to be more active and stretch some more to get rid of that aching. Thank you for the €2, Eric Schmidt. What's up, dude? Not much, just streaming and reading comments and vibing out. Maybe doing some funny little plants. You seem like you're the most chill and spiritual YouTuber I've seen yet. You seem like a great person. Also, congrats on the 1 million. Thank you, Doquis. Oh, there are definitely, I guess, quote-unquote, more spiritual YouTubers. I don't think more spiritual. I get what you mean, but it's weird to say more spiritual, less spiritual. I don't know if that's really a thing. But there are definitely YouTubers out there who can actually talk about concepts and methodology probably better than I can. Like what's a spiritual subject somebody want to bring up and I could talk about and watch me attempt to talk about it while not being entirely sober? Just 1 second. I really wish I could, what's it called? Play some of my favorite music on the stream, but I don't want to get the stream taken down or anything. I've kind of fought the Shy Guy. Why would they fight? Why would they fight? Why would they fight? Friends. Both friends. No fight. Hey, Guto, what's up? Whoa, Eggman's head is a spiritual sacrifice. Thank you for the £5. Hard cowboy. That's beautiful. These nuts. Thank you, my little suckers. Suddenly want to rewatch all of Confinement. You do what you gotta do. Fave song made for Confinement. Ivory's music is really good. And of course, they're still gonna be working on this episode's music as well. But this episode, actually, I got music done for, I forgot the song's name. It's called Taking Care of Business by Turner Drive, something Turner Drive. It's an 80s song. But I got somebody to make instrumental for that for Connor to sing over in this episode. Still not up to that part though. 'Cause I haven't properly gotten around to it. Happy to be part of the 1 million show. I've been in love with this channel since I saw episode 1. Thank you, Big Daddy Dave. The Shy Guy can be a friend? Yeah, why not? Do you have a right to be happy or should you earn it? You have the right to be happy. Just like you have the right to be sad, angry, you know, jealous, whatever. You're allowed to feel whatever you want to feel. You have the right to do it. Does that mean you're gonna non-stop do it just because you have the right to do it? No, you're gonna experience all ranges of emotions all the time. But to say that you deserve to be happy once you finally reached a certain goal, you are intentionally setting yourself up for suffering because you think that you need to suffer to deserve things, which is something that people who want you to work, they're the only people who have an incentive to tell you that. But if you're alone, just by yourself, you have the right to be happy. You have the right to be happy at any point in the day, during the day. You're allowed to. You're completely 100% allowed to. And the people who tell you you aren't are the people who want you to do something for them. Thank you for the £2, Meme Factory Worker. 8 shekels for thee. Thank you. Congrats on 1 million. Thank you. But I'll be your stream sniper for your streams. Haha, good luck, man, and good night. At least in Australia, it's night anyway. Good luck. Thank you, Cameron Brotherton. You have a good day. I wish I'd found the series a lot earlier. Nah, you're probably more lucky than the people who've been waiting for longer, for this episode longer. One's feelings are valid, one's actions may not be. It's true, it's all contextual. Should you have the right to be happy, question mark, is the most society TM thing I've ever heard. Well, that's how people genuinely feel. Even when I say it, and all of us, or most of us, are gonna be like, well, yeah, obviously we have the right to be happy. You're still gonna go out there after the stream and do things to yourself that suppress the things that you're allowed to experience freely. You look like Wilbur Suit and sound like him. I don't know who that is, but thank you for the £6. Hard Cowboy again. Let me look up Wilbur Suit. Wilbur Suit is white. I'm not sure how I look like him. Your spiritual topic, what would you call being at peace and being grounded with Earth? I would call that being in the present moment. In other cultures, in Japan, it's called Satori. In, I think in India, it's called nirvana and moksha. In the Western magic, it's called crossing the abyss. In psychology, it's called ego dissolution. But being at peace with it, being at peace with your ego dissolution. It's just being at peace with everything that's going on, even though it's not always pleasant. You know, being accepting of where you are. That is the type of life that I'm trying to live, is being able to switch into that mode where I'm in total acceptance of everything around me. And sometimes I'm really good at it, sometimes I'm not. But that's just part of the curriculum, you know? Bong, are you secretly a Buddha because every time I show up to the stream you drop knowledge bomb like you just did? Well, we're all Buddhas. We're all Buddhas, we're just at different stages of unflowering. And don't get me wrong, there's no goal. I'm not trying to unflower. It's just a thing that might become a result of me pursuing peace. But I'm not going to say that I'm ever going to reach a state of enlightenment where I'm just like up in the mountains completely in a state of constant orgasm. You know what I mean? It's mostly just gonna be me trying to learn how to deal with my anxieties and my other problems. Ego dissolution is for psychoanalysis. Well, ego dissolution isn't for anything. It's a state that happens. They were asking for the state. Ego dissolution can be used for psychoanalysis, though. I guess that's what psychology is. A big part of it is being able to analyze it. That's not necessary, and if you're just trying to achieve peace. Bong, what happens if we die? Well, people seem to think that death is the opposite of life, but Eckhart Tolle said that death is just the opposite of birth. You know, there's this continuous cycle of energy. I'm just going to say energy as cheesy as it sounds, of energy. That is the pattern that you call your life. And at some point during this pattern of energy, it became really complicated to the point where you became a human being. And that was called birth. And then it becomes more and more complicated, and it gradually begins to deteriorate around 25 years of age. And eventually you deteriorate into that same simple place that you were before you were born. And that experience is called death. And what you experience after that, from my experience, of my near-death experience, it's not like a soul or whatever that happens after. It's just a very simple consciousness. It's a very single-pointed consciousness. It's a very, very simple, tiny, quiet experience of energy. And I think you disassociate, you depersonalize after you die, and suddenly there isn't an idea of you or me or it. You don't acknowledge that things are things because things aren't real, and then nothing becomes real, and yet the experience continues. And then since you're in this place outside of time, what you might call reincarnation, you don't reincarnate personally into another thing, but all of the atoms and particles that make up your entire being become recycled in the universe. And since you don't have a concept of time anymore, because you're just a bunch of particles dispersed across the cosmos, you experience all these things instantaneously, and so you become part of the universe. Please stay hydrated. I am. How many drugs do I take to become a philosophy major? It's all of them. Which energy? Kinetic, electromagnetic? No, I just mean energy. I was using energy in the broadest sense for motion and impact, I guess. So when the Big Bang started, it was just energy, and then we label these energies into a bunch of more specific categories in all completely in relation to how useful they are to us as human beings. And so energy that is moving at a much more colliding and high vibrational speed, we would call solid matter. And then there's more subtle energies that we call thoughts and emotions. And, you know, I'm using the word energies. Some people, that's just a cheesy word to use. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. We'll pay attention to your classes. Storyteller tier voice chats. Just smoking a cigarette. Man, I should watch some Storyteller. Hi from Seychelles. Hey, bonjour. I don't know. You probably speak French in Seychelles. Teach us how to split our atoms using household common items. Thank you, Douglas. Honestly, thumbnails me right now. Same. Consider transhumanism, surpass mortality, and assume the health span of your choice. Yeah, you could just become a god. You could just straight up become a god if you like, using technology, which is the next stage of magic. The next stage of sorcery, I should say. There are technomancers out there, people who are just spiritually imbued in their technology. I don't know much about them, though. Haven't met any that I know of. Hey, Sapphire. Is that right? You got a new girlfriend. Love you too, Sapphire. You go have fun with your new girlfriend, wherever they are. I'm so glad for you. Hoping to turn myself into the thumbnail with a little wake and bake. Yeah, fair enough. Energies. Yeah, I know, but that's just the word I use. Should I just say motions? All of reality is just a bunch of motions. A bunch of movements, a bunch of wiggles. If I wanted to simplify reality down to its very, very bare, it's just a bunch of wiggles, and then we acknowledge some of the wiggle as a pattern and say that therefore it's a thing. And all of the other wiggles that don't make a pattern, we say is nothing. We say is chaos. And so reality is made up of our opinion of these wiggles that are happening. You know, these things don't actually have names inherently. We name them, we label them, we categorize them, we separate them. And really, it's just all ideas. It's just a bunch of ideas, and we pretend that it's real. Shoot someone with a tank magic. What's sorcery, you know? Oh, hey, Mal. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Reality is wiggles. It is. It's wiggles. Cosmic substances. You could say that, I guess. Entropy increases. Oh, like a Star Wars lightsaber energy. I get you. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Thanks for the 2 pounds, Hard Cowboy. I'm sorry, Comico, that you had to see Swagrid. You could put a sticky note on your computer screen to cover him up if you like. Where you from? I can't pin the accent. I'm from Australia. You say peacock and nobody cares. But you say poopcock and everyone loses their minds. I hate it. I have a problem. I'm the guy in the Twitch chat. I'm simping for a streamer. Tinder wasn't working. Give me a wake-up slap, bro. Ah! I'm simping for a streamer. Tinder wasn't working. No. Was it me? Am I the stream you're simping for? That's the only allowed answer. I know what you mean by energy. And do you believe in karma on more of a deeper level? Yeah, I mean, karma just translates from Sanskrit into doing. Just doing shit, doing stuff. Is movement, motion. So, by that definition, the motion that you set out in the universe will have an effect. It doesn't have to be a personal effect, and you don't have to decide which is the effect that it has back on you. But there are definitely things that you can learn the cause and effect of. Like, if you choose to be shitty to people, it's not that something bad will necessarily happen to you in the bad luck Final Destination kind of way. It's more like, if you decide to be shitty to people, then you validated shittiness in your own life, and therefore you are more likely to be shitty towards people that you love, because you've made it a stronger possibility of repeated action in your normal life. So that is the karma of being shitty to people. That doesn't mean don't be shitty to people, it just means acknowledge that, and maybe you'll be able to catch it before it happens, hopefully. What if all the characters from all the other episodes unite? What will happen? Well, that's how a lot of cartoons end in their final episode, so... Do you have merch? Yeah, it should be in the description. Oh, actually, Mal just put the TeePublic of my merchandise in here, in the chat. Bong, whatever you do, don't replace the M in Mexico with an S. Sexico. No. Oh my god, no. No, no, not Sexico, no. We are from around the world, conversing in varying methods with little delay. I am here via a device no longer than my hand. Praise the machine god. Yeah. People really are praising the machine gods right now. He is cut? Am I? Am I cut? That'd be a better choice of simping. I'm simping for an emo streamer. I'm experiencing brain rot. Snail cigarette. Oh no! You've really gotten to the emo life. I'm so proud of you. I want to see where this ends. I hope it doesn't end with the stereotyped ending of how emos live. Monetization gone. Sexico. And Bung rants, I like that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Praise the Omnisire. Have you considered the ritual of reactivation? Tech pre-support ASUS 3510? That's genius. I haven't seen Mandalorian yet, sorry. I don't know who Garagure is, but I think the VTuber thing is really cool. Why did you kill Yoda, Bung? He was a beloved character. Bung, don't look up what dinosaur has 500 teeth. Well, guess I'm looking up what dinosaur has 500 teeth now. Oh no! It's not pronounced that way, Komiko. How dare you? Big titty emo girlfriend sloppy toppy is all a person needs, I feel like. It is up there in the psychological needs of that Young explained. Yeah, you go rehydrate. This ends with me e-dating again at best. Sigh. Oh, I'm sure you'll get some IRL emo ass. I totally believe in you. We'll be playing any games tonight. Sorry, no, I was gonna play Rayman 2, but it kept crashing, so that's not great. Gorgora is that little VTuber dressed like a shark who also has a shark bite for some reason. Hey, sharks are allowed to bite each other. I'd say that probably happens quite a lot. Bong, don't search the scientific name of pig. No, I know that one. More like Lord Bong, I'm so hungover right now. I'm sorry that you're hungover, Raccoon Priest. That's the price to pay. Rubbing your toe? Would you ever consider a show or something like that? I actually have. By some people who, work as... I forgot what they work as, but it was something in relation to, producing animated shows on TV. one of the producers, I think of, no, I'm not gonna remember the details, but, they did come up to me and mention that, like, oh, if you have any ideas for a show or whatever, you just hit me up and, see what we can do. And I just did not have any ideas. Man. I mean, I do now that I'm thinking about it, but I'm not sure if it'll be a great show. I really have to flesh it out, but I'm too busy working on my show, you know? Like, how much investment am I gonna put into this idea, these ideas? I don't know. Maybe once I finish this episode, I'll have some time to think about it. What if we were sharks and we bit each other? Blushing emoji. Straight vibin'. Oh, wait. Shit. Lish, I totally forgot to give you mod roll. Because this is your new account. I realized, like, wait, hold on, something's not right. Not gonna lie, mod roll is just so I can mostly see, my friends talking. Okay, that's not totally true. I do trust the people who have the mod roll to do their job. Bro, I'm rapidly getting wrinkles on my brain. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Hard Cowboy, but thank you for the 2 pounds. Actually, I think wrinkles in your brain is a good thing. I'm going by. You're the best. You're always my favorite YouTuber. Bye. Thank you, LM Roblox. It's really sweet of you to say. Hi, I am. That's deep. Time for lunch. What should I eat? I'm thinking beans on toast with eggies. That sounds like a vibe. Yeah, modding time. Could you ever consider turning it into a legit show for Netflix or something? Oh no, I can't. I don't have control over that. The people who are in charge of the SCP copyright would not be... They would be discheesed, as that mouse meme says. Good job on 1 million. Have you watched Hamilton the musical? That's a strange follow-up question. Thank you. Yeah, I have. I enjoyed it. Show me your awesome workout gear. Awesome, congrats on 1 million. Been here since day 1. I don't have workout gear. I don't know what made you think I even look like the kind of person who would ever have workout gear. I literally just dance and stretch. That's about it. And it's not even professional. I just stretch the way I feel and dance the way I am. How'd you pick Lord Bung to be your username? Back before I thought I was gonna ever get anywhere popular, it was the name I decided, and it has been stuck there. 1 second, I'm just gonna have a little, I'm just gonna inhale loudly, and it's nothing to be concerned about. Nothing going on here. Oh, it's a good breath of air. War crime time? Don't say that. Hey, cheese bread. You have earned moderator. You've earned moderator, cheese bread, because you have been epic and done so much for me. And we're so deep in business that, like, at this point it would just be inconvenient for you to be like, psych, and then run away. So, I trust you to be mod. He took Lord Bung because he's an actual lord, so it makes sense. Yeah, it all worked backwards. I became a lord after I named myself Lord Bung. I'm also a Bung. Hey Bung, what do you think about pirates? Cyber ones and historical ones? Oh. I mean, there is a bit of a kind of a glamour and an aesthetic to pirates that I understand. But avoiding my opinion on how cool or lame they are, Um, I think it is a fun sort of sign in your nation that if pirates start becoming a big thing, then that means you, as the people in charge of the nation, are fucking up real bad. You know? Like, pirates seem to be a scapegoat, but pirates are a result of shitty leadership in a nation. I think that's something that I just wanted to mention. But I feel like a lot of you already knew that, if you're socially aware. He is taking drugs? How dare you? No, I'm not. What should I have for a midnight snack? You should have cheese. Unless you're lactose intolerant, don't do that just because I told you. Damn, Bong's doing that thing where he blows bubbles in the water with a straw. I am. Thank you, Jess. Did you gonna continue the confinement series? Sorry for my English, I'm French. No worries. I forgot how to say no word. C'est la vie. And I know that's not no worries, but I am continuing it. I'm still working on it. Simply vibin'. Simply vibin'. Do not worry. Bong, what was your first ever drawing? I can't remember. I've been a little child. You know? Imagine a little child, baby me, scribbling on paper, sort of beginning to get a grasp on something. Which one would be my first drawing? You know? As a child, I didn't have judgment, so I guess I wouldn't have been able to say that this isn't a drawing, this is just a scribble, but this is a drawing. I think my first drawing would have been a scribble of some kind, you know what I mean? Bong, you watch Owl House. Yeah, I've seen some of it. I've enjoyed it pretty good. Name yourself for the job you want, not the job you have. BRB, changing my name to Big PP Professional Cuddler. I feel that. Bung just got thirsty for I see no illegal activity. Make a mug cake if you got the ingredients. They're so good. Make a mug cake. How long have you planned for the series to be in the first place? I had 10 in mind when I first started. I still have 10 in mind, but some moments in the middle I changed it to like 11 or 9, you know, but it's still 10 right now. Is Alfred good? He is beautiful. Bung's voice hit different in the early morning show. Got that velvet going. What? I appreciate it, I think. Bung, you watch the stars sometimes? Absolutely. I didn't get to when I lived in Sydney, because the light pollution was terrible, but now that I live back in the NT, it's like a lot more prominent. Although it could be more prominent. I like it because there's a funny little perspective thing. Your brain just could not comprehend how far the stars actually are, but if you keep pushing it, you know, it begins to fuck with your head a little bit. But it's really awestrucky. Awestrucky? It leaves me awestruck. Hey dude, I haven't been checking this channel for a year because I was at the hospital. I'm really sorry. Aw, I'm sorry that you're at the hospital. You don't have to be sorry for not checking in on my channel. I'm not getting mad about anything like that. I hope you get better soon or get out of that hospital. Unless you need to be in that hospital. Like if you're in a zombie apocalypse situation, that's your only thought. Man, that sucks. Hospital's such a bad place to hide in a zombie apocalypse. Why am I telling you to do that? Bye, Bong. Wish me luck for my tests. Good luck, Skull Dude 1083. I hope you get A+, or at least B+. Unless you want to flunk that test. I don't know why. Maybe you hate your parents. You should learn to love them. Or striking? That probably makes more sense. Let's say, hypothetically, you are Genghis Khan. Shut up. This is the most relaxed stream I've ever witnessed. Hell yeah, it can certainly get more relaxed. Listening to your stream while assembling miniatures, chill as can be. Hell yeah. Hey, let's talk about existentialism a bit more. Do you reckon there are aliens out there? Yeah, I don't know. Why not? There might be higher beings out there. I'm one of them. I mean, I'm not doing drugs. I'm just breathing air. Speaking of air, I'm gonna go take another breath. I'm sorry for my loud breathing, but I have sinus issues. And that noise that you're hearing, it's not there. Alrighty. Yeah. I know where is Rumble City. Oh, I'm sorry, Duckweast, that you have a hand bruise. Maybe you should beat up the guy that beat up your hand. Bro, confinement kinda inspired me to get into art, not gonna lie. That's so cool. I'm glad. That's really special to me because of all of the things that inspired me to get into art. I always consider special. Breath breaks, babes. Get that BB. Rip Mel, oh no. Wish I had sinus issues right now. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Dragon Queen, for the 1 mil. It's going great. Hey, yo, Bung, what's the youngest a fan has been that you're aware of? Well, I mean, I don't know how young the youngest person, and don't fucking tell me, in this stream, but I actually, when I went to VidCon in Anaheim, in California, there was like a couple of kids I saw, but they saw my name tag and they were like, haha, let's take a selfie. It's pretty rad. That's pretty sweet. He was funny, like this little kid. He was like, I don't know. I don't connect ages to the size of the children. But he had like 9 pairs of sunglasses on, just all over his face. And he was just like, just like, let's take a selfie. It was really cute. Aliens could exist if the universe itself is infinite. Definitely. Yeah. Great Barrier Paradox. It's interesting. I've never, not really been getting into the alien side of spirituality that I know is a huge part of spirituality, but it always comes across as the weirdest ones for me that even I'm like, alright, I don't want to go there. You know what I mean? Where people are talking about like, here's some alien species that came and visited us a long time ago or something. But you know, maybe it's true. Maybe it's true. Why not? What mic are you using? I just know that it's a Behringer. That's all I know. A Behringer. I'm 12 in a month and 3 days. Is that right? Why are you watching these streams? I talk about all sorts of naughty, nasty things. Drink up. Let's boo-boo. Aliens do be pretty funky, though. The cats are the actual aliens that are still here. Bet. I believe in you. Those fuckers look nothing like dogs, and I know dogs are from Earth. Cats? I have second guesses. I have reservations about them and their validity as an Earth-based organism. Think about it. You cannot feed a cat chicken nuggets because they don't like the crumb around it. If you don't like it so much, go back to fucking Neptune. How tall how tall years old are you? How tall years old are you? I am 25 years tall. I guess. Sorry, I'm trying to answer your question. Meditation part of spirituality was always my favorite. Transcendental meditation, highly recommend. Absolutely. I've definitely had some of the best experiences meditating. Although it's mostly a relaxing thing for me. Me trying to lower my heart rate if it's just too fast, or if for some reason my chest starts to constrict, which happens every now and then, meditate. Or if I'm just stuck in my thoughts and I just feel like meditating to get out of it. You can feed them salami. You can feed them salami though. Cats are funky, silly little alien babies. Yeah. You turned 15 this Monday. I specifically said don't tell me. I want old people in here only. Nah, I don't give a shit. You do whatever you want. Some people say that viruses are aliens because they're very different from humans and such. Well, so are lobsters. I mean, you know, I was making that joke about cats earlier, but... Yeah, listen to Sapphire, everybody. I already answered this question too many times anyway. Destroyed, obliterated. Man, there really are a lot of people just doing that. Just ate some porridge. Good on you, James Wood. I knew you'd do it. What the hell did I miss? Yeah. A warning was made and there were casualties. 60 plus, so you can't watch Bun. Lobsters are aliens. Yeah, they kind of are aliens. They're, like, all of the arthropods I always find scary because of just how very distant they are in the evolutionary tree, you know? Like, arthropods and everything else separated before we even walked on land. And so the path that they took, the little genetic time bombs that end up walking around and fighting and eating each other, so far apart from anything that mammals could even imagine. Favorite insect, favorite insect, favorite insect? Mine is a moth right now because of all of the cute little bugs I've been drawing. In fact, I'm going to send in a picture of my cute little drawings. I should put in a bunch of my art, actually. Oh, this is a big one. You can just see the swag grid right behind. That's funny. Oh, I'm gonna have to change the coloration from stream for this stream. There it is. Let me just change this real quick. Filters, hue shift. There we go. There we go. So that's some bugs I drew recently. Very proud of them. Big fan of these bugs. It's like you people want to be timed out. Yeah, yeah. You deserve 1 million and much more. Thank you, El Mudo Habla. I'm feeling like retirement home age, also upsetty that the world went poop and it didn't even wait for me to go to OzPack/VidCon. Yeah, that really is the lame part. First one has your hairstyle neat. Yeah, you do. You got a little fluff on him. Add Cat Connor sketch for... Yeah, I just might. Oh no, I just put it in the recycling bin. Hold on, I need to take it out. Restore. I'm gonna have to mute it as well. Because it has copyright music in it. Time to add media source, browse. This is gonna have music. This is gonna have music. Ah, shit! The music! How do I stop it? How do I mute it? Oh, media source. Oh, there we go. It's muted now. Hopefully. No, repeat, dummy. How do I make it repeat? Man, I do not know how to do nothing. Man, I know I used to know how to do this, so it's not totally lost, but I don't feel like learning again how to do this. Yeah. There we go. Catboy Connor real? The virus is lame, just not as swag as us. You're so right. The virus is so lame. What is your opinion on oatmeal? Asked oatmeal. Incredible. Plot twist, Bung is an alien. That's why he breathes from the some weird thing every 10 minutes. Yes, that's true. Function of a rubber duck. To be rubber and a duck. You a clown. Why would you say that? Why would you say such a thing? I have feelings. Watching Bung stream instead of getting ready for school. I know what that's like. Since I've been watching your streams, I've been more chill than I've ever been. I'm glad I'm having this effect. But remember, do not make me do not make me the one and only excuse to chill. Just chill whenever you feel like you can, and it can't do you any harm. It's more addictive to be anxious, to be at the energy level that you are right now, and to not be any lower than that is a very addictive experience. Being on edge, being judgmental, prejudice, constantly determining everything to create the best possible outcome for yourself. You don't have to do that in the foreground of your mind. You can do that in the background of your mind anyway. You just gotta trust yourself that you remember it, instead of repeating it over and over in your head, clogging up your brain with so much loud and repetitive thinking. Those thoughts are gonna happen anyway, just let it float to the back of your head. Mantises can catch and consume prey bigger than a human hand, depending on the... Oh, scrolled up, sorry. Depending on the species, even bigger. Absolutely terrifying sight because they eat prey alive. Yeah. That's insects. They ain't waiting for you to be dead. Rubber bubby. Thank you, my little six. I remember drawing fan art that kind of sucked back then for the Bung Chronicle Dino. Oh, I'm sure it was great, Rochi. Opinion on ants. The movie or the species? The group of animals. I'd say they're both pretty good. Both can get pretty intense. Especially those big ants. Holy shit. Hope you have having a good life right now, and I hope everything is good. Don't forget people care about you. Thank you, Xavier Robinson. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, I know people care about me. I know my friends do, and my family, and you know, it's nice. It's nice to feel cared for, and I hope all of you do feel cared for. Or at least realistically have somebody that can care for you to remind you that you are cared for. We're racing to get timeouts, oh man. Congrats with the 1 mil subs, Lord Chill, Dabs. Thank you, Sanosaurus. Thank you for the little dab. Bung deserves some Chucky milk cause he epic, also the species of ant. Ah, thank you for the Chucky milk. Species of ant. Yeah, that's so cool. I hear that there's a species of ant that gets fucked up by a zombie mushroom. That's some scary shit, if you think about it. I mean, it's not like they were any less of a zombie as their own species to begin with, you know. But that is cool how nature works. You could see the way that ants move, you know, in a line, like they're almost, in a way, they're like their own big superorganism, where like they don't talk to each other the same way that we do. But they still create this line in the path that they walk on, and they all work in this beautiful harmony. And it's like they're a sort of a hive mind, but not really. But it only really looks like that from our perspective. But if you look at the human race, we're an even more interconnected organism. And sure, there are a lot of us that hate each other and try to kill each other, but I would say that the mass communication between humans is much more complicated and rich than a bunch of ants. So from another perspective, we're just a bunch of slightly bigger ants. And it's weird when you get into the territory of like, am I me, or am I the eyeballs at the end of this giant organism called the human species? Am I just like, do I just have the experiencing stick right now? You know, I'm experiencing reality right now. It's my turn to experience it. But from your perspective, it's your turn to experience it. But we're both the same universe. Thank you for the love heart, Kyle. Appreciate that. Swag grid. Wasn't even that into SCP, but your stuff is very well made and got me more interested. I'm happy to see the growth over the couple of years knowing you. Thank you, Rochi. That's really cool. I'm glad. I was trying to make it approachable to people who know nothing about SCP. Because I didn't want to be like, I didn't want it that you need to do homework just to enjoy content. I think it's important to be able to enjoy the content, no matter where you're coming from. The gif in the middle is off-brand Bobby Hill. That's from The Simpsons. Fucking King of the Hill is off-brand The Simpsons. How dare you? I still listen to all the Bun Chronicles songs. Mom loves On the Road Again one. Oh, that's so fucking sweet. Why would you say that to me? Why would you say that? Aw, that made me smile. Ants count steps. Scientists found out by making stilts, and they walked past their food. Oh, fuck, really? They walk right past it because they were just counting steps. That's really interesting. And really cute, actually. But they're just little ants, and you can just imagine them just going like, 36, 37, 38, 39. Oh. Small portions of a colony of ants, human body into the fine dust under 30 seconds. Colony of ants, human body into fine dust. I don't my brain isn't processing that sentence. It's like 1 in 10 billion of those specific ants that get zombified. Oh, okay. Interesting. So it's actually making the ant an individual, ironically. That's funny. We're ants to giants, but giants see ants as cells. Yeah, giants see us as ants. And so really try and picture the feelings that you get when you imagine ants right now. Just visualize them. Just how detached and insignificant they feel to us. Just how absolutely irrelevant they are. We're that on another level. And people have a hard time accepting that that's even a possibility. Because they want to feel significant. So I'm not saying this to put anyone down, that on one level we're ants. On another level, we're the entire universe. Like, our blood cells. Imagine blood being a blood cell, you know? Everything that you do is completely and 100% in service to the body. And the body, as far as you can tell, is the end of the universe. That's just existence, you know? And so from every perspective that could be out there, we have a bias towards this one. This one that we're just looking at. Where Alfred? I don't know, he outside right now, I think. Yes, another Thursday. Yeah. We should watch Ants. Your action made me smile. Stop pal, not allowed. She's red beating me in my shit Aussie internet. Which games do you like? Right now I'm playing Danganronpa. I like it, but I'm also being forced to play it at the same time, so. A giant wouldn't see us the same as ants because we do have sentience. Ants do not. If an ant cried out loud for you to notice him, most normal people would do that and help. Okay, it's a good argument, but that wasn't really the point of what I was trying to say. I guess maybe I should have said like a god or something instead of a giant. When I said giant compared to us and us compared to ant, I was trying to imply that the cognitive ability would also increase in the thing that is bigger than us. But the reason I bring this up is just because consciousness isn't everything. It's not just in the human brain. It's not a thing that the brain creates. You know, we're not like a valuable computer that is that shouldn't be dropped or broken or whatever. Consciousness is there. It's experiencing what the brain is creating. It just so happens that the brain is really complicated, and so it tries to make itself useful and get our attention with all of its loud noises and sounds and images, and tries to really push all your buttons emotionally. And then you begin to identify with this insanely complicated thing that you call your brain. But who is it that is identifying it? It's you. You are not the brain. You are behind the brain, seeing the world in terms of sight, smell, sound, feeling, taste, and hearing. But those are just things that the brain produces to experience reality in the way that the brain is evolved to. In the truest form, you are the one sitting behind that, experiencing it. And since there's no physical evidence for you in the truest form, because we can't physically prove that consciousness is real, and yet we all experience it, so in a way, we aren't real. At least not in the way that we measure physical things. So what is consciousness? It is nothing. It is nothing. It is like a black hole. It's a fun little bit of nothing. And the reason I bring this up is because it's a beautiful thing. It's not a scary thing. We just have a bias towards this particular body that we're in. You know? But the consciousness behind the brain is something that we all share. Because we all share this thing called consciousness. There's no such thing as identity in pure consciousness. We just create identities with these bodies. Watch the ant bully and go sit outside. I actually watched the ant bully pretty recently. God, I'm gonna fall asleep now. You go ahead, Ricardo Bravo. You do what you gotta do. Essentially, the concept of a soul is still a mystery scientifically. I'm religious, so I do believe in a soul, but yeah. Well, yeah, the soul will always, or the concept of the soul, or the consciousness, will always be a mystery because you can't measure it. It is the thing that is experiencing the brain. And this thing, whatever flavor you could even imagine it to be, it is not that. If you can imagine what consciousness is, then it's not consciousness. Because if you can put it into words, if you can put it into a physical or a visual idea or some kind of sensational idea, you've got it wrong. The consciousness is the emptiness that gets filled in with all of the noise that the brain makes. You know, you are nothingness and you are experiencing thingness. Does that make sense? So deep down, you know, backstage behind all of your biological, neurological network, consciousness is for PS4s. Yeah, it's chappy time. But backstage behind reality, there is just nothing, because otherwise you can't tell what reality is if there wasn't nothingness as a backdrop to it. You know, the same way you can't tell what heat is if there wasn't a lack of heat to represent coldness. So behind all of physical reality is just this infinite backdrop of nothingness, the void, and that's also what you are. And you are experiencing oh, my screen is turning orange. 1 second. And you are experiencing this through this complicated thing called the brain, and the brain tells you that there is an individual, and so you believe it. I disagree. The brain is the maker of consciousness. It costs an insane proportion of the body's produced electrochemical energy to do so. We are that computer. We are the meat. I don't know if I'm explaining myself well enough, but you're not wrong, but what you say is not necessarily contradictory to what I'm saying. The brain experiences the brain experiences the consciousness, but you are not the brain. Where is the part of the brain where you are experiencing the brain? There isn't. There is none. There is just the brain. You experience the brain. You are not the brain. You experience the brain. You hear things, you see things, you smell things. You think things and you hear them. You imagine images and you see them. You anticipate things and you experience time, but you're using the brain to do so. You are using the brain. You are not the brain. Do you get what I'm saying? People seem to think that we are the brain, but the brain is the thing that the only thing we can measure in the brain and research about the brain are the sensations that we experience. But who is the we behind it? And there's nothing. The nothingness is you. We are the nothingness behind the brain. If there's no God, how am I meant to make God call me daddy? I feel like you can detect at least part of what defines as consciousness. We can measure thought and reaction to stimulus. Unless you define consciousness differently, we can measure it. I definitely define consciousness differently. I don't think the thinking is consciousness, and I think a lot of people confuse thinking for consciousness. No, the brain creates thoughts. You identify with the thinking because you use words like me, I, you, them. You personalize it and make it all, you attach your emotions to it and you attach your experiences to your thoughts. But your thoughts are just a tool. It's a tool that the brain produces. That's not what you are, because you experience the thoughts. You hear the thoughts. You see what I'm saying? You hear the thoughts. You are not the thoughts. And that is not a part of your consciousness, but it is a part of you. Your thoughts are a part of you, but it's no more or less the part of you than everybody else on the planet. My brain and me are different things. Exactly, yeah. Doesn't the brain experience itself? You'd think so, right? But where is the part of the brain that is the thing that is you? You can't find it. The only thing you study the brain on, and it just comes up with all of the tools that the brain produces that you experience. The idea of you doesn't exist, is what I'm trying to say. There is just a brain, and there is just these sensations, and there are just thoughts, and there are just emotions, and there are just void of you. There is no such thing as you. The left and right hemispheres of the brain have separate consciousness. Your mind is that amalgamation and the connections between them. Left and right hemispheres of the brain have separate consciousness. That's interesting. Or they funnel consciousness into separate sensations, sensational patterns. You're getting stuck off definitions. You'll not end up anywhere with this. Is your hair part of you? Arguing definitions is more or less useless. Well, it is, but when you have a conversation with somebody, you're eventually going to run into the arguing definitions part, because we're just trying to use words to convey ideas, and it's a bit hard. Because I could say something that I think is really profound, but then somebody else's definition of a word I use might be very different and completely just goes over their head. I thought the whole idea of a brain was that you didn't do the work. I don't know what you mean by that. Then how are you yourself? How do you exist? If you are nothing, then why do others see you? I didn't say that I am like void of physical matter. The idea of I is an idea. You know, I pretend that I have an individual significance. I pretend that this particular combination of meat around this funnel of consciousness is significant, because I have an incentive to take care of it, or else I suffer. This idea of me suffers, but I suffer anyway. I only suffer, though, when I am too attached to the idea of me. Because I have a lot of chronic pain. When I have pain, and there just is pain, I'm not suffering. But when I'm like, oh god, I wish this would stop, then I'm suffering. You see what I mean? Things are just happening. We don't need to label it. And it's pointless to label it. It doesn't make sense to label it. And we just have gotten so used to the labeling that we have personalized it and made it all about something significant about our own existence as opposed to the rest of the universe. And that's why we are so pissed off all the time, because the universe is bigger than us and we are pretending it's separate from us, and therefore crushing us, stepping on us, and that it doesn't care about us. So why isn't somebody caring out for me? It's like, well, you care for yourself. I don't believe that I am me. It's hard to explain, but he has explained it. I can't really recognize my face as me. Yeah, the you is just an intellectual idea. It's not literally a real thing in reality. That you is the neocortex working in conjunction with the hippocampus to provide an emulated self based on the self-preservation algorithm of mammals, all shared to varying degrees. Yeah, from a scientific perspective, that is true, but it is not necessarily... like you said, you already put it in quote marks. It's not real. The idea of you is an illusion. Now what does this mean? Why am I trying to explain this? I'm trying to explain this so people stop taking life so seriously. You know? I have chronic cool. Ow, my bones. Because when people are in a bad mood, they look for logical reasons to justify their bad mood. So they start taking things that are pretty significant and serious in context of their own lives and using that as an excuse to be angry and shitty and to do things that are self-destructive or destructive towards others, you know? On an extreme level, that's called righteousness, and that's how you get terrorism and religious wars and justifiable murders and, you know, all that nonsense. But on a day-to-day level, that's just, you know, the general self-abuse that we give ourselves. You know, we do things because we think we deserve it as punishment and all that jazz. But we don't need to believe in anything. Because none of this is necessarily real. It is a sensation. It is a game. This is just a bunch of billiard balls bouncing off on a table. And if we get super attached to one billiard ball, then maybe our life will be a bit more stressful. But just generally speaking, enjoy things, you know? What? I was just trying to read that, but it's all gone. I used to think this void was a thing of significance. It came to a point where I had family problems, and my friends said there was a problem, then my consciousness decided killing myself was the idea. Well, that's a really intense sentence to read. I'm not really even sure what that was. We're all of us fragments of a greater universal consciousness that wants to experience itself. Exactly. A radiated slag heap. My big brain got a six-pack. I think my entirety and my desires are me, and the pieces are something different but slightly overlap. Well, your desires and your entirety are parts of you, but they're no more or less parts of you than the house that you live in, or the environment that you're in, the weather patterns that you experience on a yearly basis, or the friends and the family members that you come across. There's no rule in objective reality. There's no rule saying that you have to say that only this experience here, like the skin, is the end of who I am. Who you are stretches way beyond all of that. You are all of the universe. We just say that we are we because we live in a society, and it was a society that evolved off the idea that we are like machines, that we are like these workers, and we have to earn our way into certain privileges, and we have to be individuals and take responsibility for individual things, and assign blame and praise towards different individuals in a kind of system, a kind of a pyramidic system. But that's not true. That's just a cultural thing. There's nothing true about it. Have you seen the Hannibal movies Rayman or Ramen? The Hannibal movies Ramen. No, I don't know what that is. Life doesn't really have a purpose, even if you believe it does, but you can at least enjoy it. Yeah, definitely. You can assign purposes every now and then, just don't get too attached to it when it's about to end, you know? Especially when it's about to end, I mean. Society. Is it wrong that my way to cope with my feminine body is to look in the mirror as if I'm checking out a hot girl instead of it being me? Is this an unhealthy coping mechanism? Find out next time. Oh, jeez. I have no idea, actually. That sounds like an interesting sensation. I definitely don't feel like my face is my face when I find my face attractive, but I think that has just more to do with my own self-worth ideas. Like, my self-worth is improved, and sometimes I can look at myself and pose a face and think like, wow, I'm attractive, but most of the time that's not the case. But I like society. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to hate society. I'm just saying that there's good and bad in society. You can't create something with the notion of following a moral guide, creating a society without making all of these sacrifices. And that's something I guess our ancestors signed off on, unless our ancestors were dragged into this. We are us, and that is we. That is true. So, but there is a problem with the statement, or is it much more deeper than killing self? It's been bothered by the fact that reading a room can affect you if you care too much. Your thoughts? I still don't know what you're saying. There's a no on the live release date, so here's my 2 cents on the whole thing. My opinion, why waste the energy thinking about things like that? Just live life and enjoy as much as possibly can. Okay, well, I mean, that is your judgment to make if you think that it's not worth talking about, but I enjoy talking about it, so I am enjoying my life, actually, by talking about it. So I put you in a paradox. Consciousness, at its simplest, is sentience or awareness of internal or external existence, despite millennia of analysis, definitions, explanations, and debates by philosophers and scientists. That's the whole definition? I don't know if it'll say the last part in the definition. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that the you is an idea. So you can keep looking into the brain, you can keep digging in there and looking for the part that is the you, that is experiencing this. But even if you do find the you, you're going to have to find out how that works. And you won't. The point is that experience is just a thing that exists in the universe and is concentrated in the sponginess of brains. It's in the same way that there's more gravity where there is matter. There is more consciousness where there is brains. Because consciousness isn't a physical thing in the brain that you can pull out and say, like, aha, the brain clearly produced this, like it would a seed or a plant or a fruit or something. No, the consciousness then just doesn't physically exist. It isn't real. The idea of you isn't real. So that means consciousness is just a thing that exists almost saturated across the universe. It is just experiencing itself in this brain. My brain experiences consciousness in a way where I have an ego, and I have a bunch of physiological sensations that I feel I am in control of, because my brain has told me that I exist. If you enjoy wasting the time, then was the time really wasted? Exactly. Let's just do shrooms, kids. Wait, the brain's a sponge? Always has been. Philosophers are meant to define what consciousness is, lol. They ask questions about these things and then work out logical truths and viewpoints that have a likelihood to be true. Well, I don't think anyone can truly define what consciousness is. You can define what it does, but that's all everything is in the universe, is just a function anyway. That doesn't mean that there's necessarily a correct or incorrect function. It just means that there is a function or a pattern or a movement. You know, like asking, why are the mountains there is a stupid question, because it implies a sentience there, or a architectural angle to it. But all you can do is say that the mountains, you could just mention the history of the mountains getting to that place. It doesn't tell you why they're there. It just explains the pattern that reaches, the pattern that the mountain is at the moment we consider still, but it's still moving. It's still a moving thing, it's just much slower. My trans friend pointed out my height insecurity since like 10 has probably been height dysphoria the whole time. Hate it here. Feels bad. Snail emoji with a cigarette is killing me. It's really good. It is really good. Ugh. I hope I'm making sense. I need to refill my water bottle to stay hydrated. I was gonna bring Alfred, but he was eating. I didn't want to take him away from his food. Also, the breathing that I'm doing is not necessarily good for cats. Is death the start to the next better life? I mean, it's a different life. There is no better or worse. When you die, the consciousness that is experienced doesn't experience time because time is created by the brain. The sensation of time is perceived by the brain and perceived by you through the brain. So when you die, that ceases to function, so I can't really explain what happens next. I'm a couple centimeters away from 6 feet. Am I bad for saying I'm 6 feet? It's just more convenient. Nobody will know. Sometimes there is just no why. It is because it is. I would say that there is no why. Of course, a why is just for you to learn in which it is necessary. So there is a why sometimes, but it's contextual. There is no why in talking about the objective reality. You know, like we over here in the West, no matter how Christian we pretend we aren't, we still take the attitude that early medieval Christianity developed and apply it to a lot of materialistic things in this world. So for example, when we talk, have you ever talked to somebody who is almost religiously frustrated about people not taking science the same way that they do, in this mechanistic engineering way? And it's like, bro, how could you say that you're better than religious people in that sense? And they say, well, it's justified because mine is correct. It doesn't matter. If it's correct, then you don't have to be shitty about it. But my point is that we still have this way of thinking when we think about the universe. We think that we think about it in terms of where we are going, where we came from and where we are going, and that is the most important part about it. And it isn't. We don't have to talk about the universe in an engineering way. You can if you want to. I mean, I'm not gonna. But you don't have to see the universe as just that. The universe the universe existed long before we invented the notion of the engineering way of thinking. The universe just is. It just is. It is what it is. Outside of time and space, all of these things that we create in our head, it's just a thing that doesn't have a name. The universe doesn't have a name. We create names because we're afraid and insecure, but just stop that for a second and just experience the universe without using words, because words are not what the universe is made out of, you know? Yeah, I have read The Egg. I really like The Egg. I think The Egg is a good metaphor for what I believe in, although I don't literally believe in the egg theory. It's not a theory, it's just a story anyway. But people do sometimes take it seriously. It's like, no, it's a metaphor. You're missing the point if you take a story seriously. If you take religious stories seriously and literally, you're missing the point. It's all a metaphor. But everything that anyone ever says is a metaphor in the sense that it'll never be as accurate and true as the way that they're truly trying to express it. You know, how they truly feel. We always try to make things more complicated, or we always stretch it to be more significant or more whatever it is that you need to get ahead socially in life. We always stretch the way that we talk in a way that is always far away from authenticity. And even if we tried our best to be authentic, our language limits us as well. Because our language comes from the functions of our older societies. They don't actually come from some objective well of people who are trying to create objective words that objectively, perfectly explained everything in reality. No, it was all just based on functions, so jobs people had. You know, there are people whose names are based on their jobs from medieval times. Words are very, very, very bad if you're trying to experience objective reality. The universe is us and we are the universe. Amen. My personal philosophy is Hans the Hedgehog. Hell yeah, be nice to your hedgehogs. But the ultimate question we will never get is why the Big Bang happened. Because it's not a good question. It's not a question that makes sense. Because it implies that there's this kind of intentionality from somebody who created it. There is a metaphor, and most of it isn't going to be true, as it... Wait, you're going on about, lol. I have no idea what you're going on about! You're very bad at writing English, I'm sorry. Hey, Atomized Panda, thanks for the $10. Whoa, that's crazy. Slow down there, Diogenes. What are you saying? You're crazy. Kanye may be tripping a lot, but ultra light beam gives me that pure feeling of euphoria and connection to the universe that no other song can. Hell yeah. What is and isn't a metaphor is based on intent, not accuracy. I guess that's true. Maybe metaphor wasn't the best word. Maybe I can use... We are all just trying our best to reach the most accurate and authentic way of doing anything, but the idea of there being a more or less accurate way is also just in the head. And so we, as a result, we never end up doing anything the best way we think we can. We actually just have to decide that this is the best I could have done. Does that make sense? I don't know what metaphor I can use, to analogy or whatever. I don't know what to use to describe it. Trying to talk philosophical always sounds so silly and pretentious. Damn, you all got us here, Jade Mirror. Well, frankly, I don't give a shit if I sound pretentious. I'm not doing this because I want to get more people to watch my streams or more people to subscribe to my channel. I'm doing it because I feel like it. I like talking about this stuff. Also, if you just describe all philosophical talk as sounding pretentious, I don't know what you decide philosophical talk is, but I'm sure you actually hear philosophy every day. We seek the perfect, but it's an ideal. That's true. You know what I mean? And even though we know that perfect is just an ideal, we still go out of our way to be shitty to people just so we could reach a perfect version of whatever it is we're trying to do. Like, we cling on to the idea of perfect almost out of fear sometimes, and that's when it gets really destructive. Human brain doesn't like the answer that things just happen. You will never know why. It's true, though. It is true. Things just happen. Reality is just a happening, and the Taoist view of the world, of the universe, is that it's an organism. In the West, we view it as a machine, and a machine implies a very different thing. It implies, first of all, a right way of living and a wrong way of living, or a right way of experiencing, or a right way of doing, a right way of anything versus a wrong way of anything. Machine implies that there is an intention, and that there are therefore faults and broken parts of the machine that we must fix. And of course everybody has a subjective idea of what broken and fixed is, and this idea, but in the West, that's how most of us think. Even if we don't believe in a god, even if we don't believe in someone who created the machine, we still look at the world as a machine. And we think, well, that's wrong, that's incorrect, I don't like how that feels, therefore I shall change that. That's just a controlling mindset that we have in the West, and explains, you know, a very long history of colonization and trying to take over other cultures and change them and control history. But this obsession with control is something that is completely is why we feel uncomfortable when we just say the universe just is. It is just a happening. It's just the universe is just one giant organism, and it is just happening. There is no beginning or end. That's just this thing that the brain creates. There is just a thing happening. But we don't want to think that. We want to believe that there's a big juicy prize at the end and we can get there if we work hard enough. There isn't. There is just now, right now. You know, right now at this exact second. You can just experience it. And you can experience all that life has to give you if you open yourself up enough to the present moment. Does that make sense? Calling something pretentious is a new way to be pretentious about something, but in a I'm too cool to engage kind of way. Yeah, but I'm not cool enough to keep my mouth shut about it. Yeah. Are you a dino boy? I was. Is that not the same with an organism? Exactly. Like, an organism doesn't have a purpose. You look at a koala or something, and you don't say that their purpose is to blah blah blah. Of course, we don't usually look at other animals and assign them purposes because we're very selfish. We assign ourselves purposes. But the universe is no different from the smallest organism that you could think of. It has the same amount of purpose, which is none, but you can still enjoy it. You can choose to enjoy it if you want. You can choose to look at it in a negative way, as if there was somewhere else to be aside from this consciousness. Learning to cope with the feelings of wanting control is very difficult. It really, really is. It's the most difficult thing to do if you are a Westerner, especially. It's not controlling mindset part of human nature, seeing an environment and wanting to change it. It seems like it's within our power and something that humans are designed to do. See, now, you are already presuming that we need to embrace the controlling side of nature. But you have to take into consideration that for thousands and thousands of years, humans weren't that controlling. There was a cataclysm of events like societies getting larger and getting into wars with one another and then suddenly necessitating stronger and more controlling societies across the globe. But we don't have to live that way personally. You know, I'm not trying to save the world here. I'm just talking about how you could live your life day to day. You can still engage with controlling attitudes and then go home and then let go of everything. I can't tell if Bung is an optimist or a pessimist. That's the best comment explanation I've read about myself. I mean, I'm personally a very optimistic person. Like, not optimistic in that I anticipate good in the future, but rather I just think I'll be okay. So my baseline is just that I think everything will be okay. I've experienced a near-death experience. Sounds so weird to say experience twice. To admit that to the universe simply exists is scary because it's admitting to yourself that control is only an illusion. Well, it is. But you can still do things. You can still do things. You can still affect this physical universe any way you want. You just have to acknowledge that you don't have to. It is not necessary for you to be in control to experience reality. You are not less of a human because you are not controlling more things. If the thought of being in a paradox can be a one-way loop, how else do you expect to see it outward? Sorry, I'm not even sure why I tried reading yours again. I don't know what you're saying. Thank you, Maria Crossover. I'm sorry you fell from the tree. Well, I don't think that calling this conversation pretentious is necessarily unwarranted, but it's difficult to properly construct your argument quickly on the fly. It is. It really is, isn't it? Damn, I have the hardest job, don't I? Bung is a realist. I don't know. I don't really have a name for myself. Atomized panda. Why'd you just say I hate her ... What are you talking about? might be a realist, but banana. What if we're all just living in a spaceship floating around? I don't know, I'm barely awake. I just want to enjoy life. How do people have energy to question people's right to exist for simply being? Right? That's the controlling aspect of humanity. It's so exclusive and destructive. Not that it isn't helpful. Obviously, the amount of control that we put ourselves has given us all of this excessive material stuff that we enjoy every day and distract ourselves from the obvious meaninglessness of our day-to-day activities. But if we just sit down away from the material stuff and just like deal with this feeling of needing to move and needing to be somewhere else that you aren't right now, you could actually just grow to accept that feeling and not experience terrible existential dread all the time. You know? I think the Phoenix is a good representation of how the universe works in my mind. It's hard to believe that this universe is the only one to have existed ever. Yeah, like a kind of like a repeating cycle, like the Big Crunch, Big Bang, Big Crunch theory. My grandma died today, so I'm avoiding all discussion for purpose and reason myself. Yeah, there you go. You don't have to join in. I'm so sorry that that happened to you. I do hope that you have the strength to remain present with the feelings that you have instead of just trying to avoid them. But obviously you don't have to engage in the discussion. This is pretty heavy stuff sometimes. Love your vids, man. Thank you, Vivix8. Alright, I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna be ending stream real soon. But I enjoy terrible existential dread. I do too, but because it's not so dreadful for me anymore. I'm sorry, Atomized Panda, that you are under the water. Whoa, thank you for the 25 Bob, Carlos Maceda. I don't know what Bob is. Hey Bung, my friend and I wanted to react to the confinement series in a Twitch live, and a part of me wanted to ask permission to you personally. I didn't know you were allowed to do that. If you are allowed to do that, then go ahead. I don't give a shit. That would be cool. Carlos, you do what you do. You do what you gotta do. Have you thought about life outside of Earth? Makes sense that there would be. Yeah, I used to, but not so much anymore. I'm running Game Brump's paying everything. Yeah, everything's really good. If you want to learn about, Alan Watts does it better than me, obviously. He says exactly what I'm saying, but better, because he has a better voice and he's much more learned than me, and he's not high, presumably, in his lectures, although he might be a bit drunk. Yeah, he explains that it's just a myth that we believe that we are separate from the rest of the universe. There's no such thing. It's just an idea based on people who want to play a certain game in the world. And that game is, I will sacrifice my life so I could finish building this pyramid for you. Unless you're a slave, then you don't get a choice. But, you know, this idea of separateness is just a myth. And I hope I've at least gotten one person to see that, but again, it doesn't really matter because I can't tell you what to believe. You'll just run into something one day and then maybe it'll unveil aspects of your reality that you thought were unshakable, and then you will be happier and better for it. I mean, you're bound to some degree, but maybe it'll be as big and scary as mine, and that'll be pretty epic. Manga Blame. There's not much words. It's all drawing. Manga called Blame! Exclamation point. Let's take a look at the artwork and the concepts. Oh, that's cool. Got some cool art here. It's pretty gruesome cyborg stuff. Thanks for your time. These live streams are great and relaxing. I'm glad. Is it wrong that I wouldn't die for my country? The concept of being part of the military and dying doesn't seem right. No, I mean, I don't think it's wrong to feel that way. If you disagree with the way that your country is structured, then why would you die for that? Is it bad that I used to think you could drink water to stop yourself from drowning? Like, bro, just pee it out too and you won't drown. You're right, Atomized Panda. Thank you for the $5 for telling me that. When will you end stream? Because I'm about to get off soon. In a couple minutes, probably. Is it tough being a quote-unquote big YouTuber? Not tough. I mean, it's not like miserable or anything. Although it does get a little confusing and weird sometimes. Something makes me ask a lot of questions about myself and my self-worth and how much of this am I doing for this reason, how much of this I'm doing for another reason, you know. But it's mostly just, all of reality is basically just a Rorschach blot ink, a Rorschach test, with no end, and you just interpret the blots any way that is most relevant to you at the moment of it happening, and you make your decisions based on that every day. When's your next stream? It should be Sunday. The bung bug is very cute. Yeah, he is. Don't doubt. Watts was likely very high too sometimes. Thanks for the fun this morning. Enjoy your cosmic ride, friend. Love your content. Thank you so much, Crow. Thank you for the $5 as well. I really appreciate that. Do you have any tips for art? Literally just do, just draw whatever you want. No bars, no hold bars back. No, yeah, just draw whatever you want. And don't let your critical mind get in the way too much, and just try and get a feel for your relationship with your hand and the pencil. And that way you're able to more smoothly groove your way into what you might consider the style that you want. You know, there is this idea of your style. It's just the style that you want at the moment of you drawing. It could change every time you draw. You don't have to have a style. It's not necessary. Just let yourself draw. Let yourself be happy drawing. Let yourself be free drawing. And eventually you'll find the place that you want to be, and eventually you'll be a little bit more critical than usual and be like, oh, okay, actually I like this one. And another time you might be really chill and just be happy with whatever it is you produce. Is the guilt of expectations from you that make it tough being popular? It used to be really bad. It's not so bad anymore. Ever since I've started my spiritual shit, it's been quite chill, actually. But before that, holy shit. I wanted everyone to know how much I was suffering. Oh my god. The time's a few right now. It is 10 p.m. All mathematics are fake, man. We're just playing with the numbers to see what happens. They're not actually reality unless you're modeling it for physics. Yeah, numbers are only real in context to what you're trying to make or what you're trying to deal with. Or measure, I guess, is probably the most accurate way. It's like the Zen idea of just... reality is like this landscape that you can see of like a bunch of mountains over a lake or whatever. And then humans, they put a fishing net over it and they say, well, now it makes sense. See how many squares it's separated into? And now it makes sense because I can count exactly how many squares this mountain is. No, that's... But that's what our brain does all the time. It names things, it categorizes things, it separates things. It says that's more significant than that, that's less than that. That's beautiful, therefore that's ugly. That's hot, therefore that's cold. Brain just does it all the time. It's hard to escape. But you don't have to try to escape, you just acknowledge it. And when you acknowledge it, it becomes what it is, not real. What it really is. It's just an idea. So you can just do whatever you're doing throughout the day, no changes whatsoever. Just become aware of all of these little things you do and what it means. in context to what reality is. Drip Keeper swag rid of the well-known Barry Poggers series. Barry Poggers! I see it, Jonah Wickham. Damn, soon 1 p.m. here. But time is fake. It's a scam. Fuck time zones. Amen. Lish. Lish, if you want to join movie night, I think that I'm gonna be doing another movie night right after the stream in my Discord server, if you'd like to join us. Have you ever had to do math for something in your art, like an object that you need to put a map out or something or do math for? Yeah, in school I used to play these things called battle maps, which is like D&D, but you know, even simpler. Very, very simple. And I'll just draw up these maps with my friends and divide them up into squares and do the math chaos games. It's start to become Buddhist teaching. It's always been Buddhist teaching. When are you doing a face reveal? Thank you, Bishop Bab. He probably only reads member or donation messages. I don't even know what a member is in this context. And no, I've been very clearly reading all sorts of messages. I prioritize donations just because they probably expect me to read them. And they ended up giving money. And I know people who donate even though they don't have a lot of money. And so I want to at least read their messages so they don't feel like they've wasted what little money they had. And I do not encourage people who have very little money to donate, because that sucks. I'm not worth it, please. I appreciate it, but I'm not worth it. I'll join. My last movie night with you guys was, I think, a creepypasta movie. Oh no. How terrible. Have you ever thought of being a face model? I don't think I'm face model material, but that's really sweet of you to say. What happened to Akainil War? He's living his own life. Oh shit! Crumb Mike! What the heck? That's so sweet of you. 100 dosh. 100 of them. Incredible. Thank you so much, Crumb Mike. God, I hope that wasn't the last of your money. That would be terrible for you. Don't be in poverty because of me. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Crumb Mike. I only read non-mimetic messages approved by the O5 Council. Bung, were you a furry dino boy before, and why did you change? I don't know. I just began enjoying being on stream more, and so my face kind of became more of a central thing in that. And I don't know. I like my face. I think that some people find me attractive. Oh, I don't know why I'm saying that so timidly. It's just not a thing that people talk about a lot. Is their opinion on how much they think they're attractive, because it either goes like full ego or full hate, self-hate. So I'm trying to find a middle ground, and it's a bit awkward to do so. I'm living close to poverty, man. Just chilling and supporting content I love. Thank you so much, Crumb Mike. That's very sweet of you. Bong, what animal would you be? A moth. So I could get high looking at a light bulb. Thank you to the people complimenting my face. Alright. I think I'm done for now. Oh shit. What the fuck? Crom Nami asking about TF2 and League of Legends is less oppressive. What your opinion, lol? Thank you for the $10. Atomized Panda. We got some beef. Remember when I went broke donating to the then small commentary related channels? I was a sugar mama, goddamn. Oh shit, no. You walked so that they could run. I don't want him to understand a person's belief, but to see what a question can do for an answer. That's not... I think I got that. Weirdly enough, I think I got what you said there. Thank you, Jonah. Trying to join the Discord server, but it won't let me put my... But it won't let me put my age in? What do you mean? What? What you saying? Good morning, Ryan Lee, and thank you for joining stream. It doesn't really feel any different, but it is kind of weird because there seems to be a significance with that number. It's almost like a New Year's thing where I just like, oh, now I have acknowledged the passing of time based on this incremental increase of numbers. So it's weird in that way, in the same way that New Year's is weird. That's about it. Alright, I'll head out now. Thank you all for joining stream. It's really chill. It's been a really chill time. I really enjoy doing these streams. And I'm still working on Confinement Episode 8. Do not stress about that at all. We're working on it today. Working on it. Not yesterday. Yesterday was my day off. But I've been working on it basically all week. The week before that and that and that. I imagine I'll be doing it to more weeks into the future. So just don't worry about it. No need to ask. Although that will happen. I know people will ask. If you want to support me, and if you want to look at my progress and updates as I'm making Confinement, you can become a Patreon supporter for like $5 a month. You get to have all of my shit, all of my assets, all of my PNGs as I'm making them. Obviously spoilers, so if you don't want to look at that, that's fine. That's for people who don't seem to mind spoilers and want to give $5, so that's one thing. Another thing. I have merchandise in the link below. There should be a merchandise button below. Mal's linked the Patreon. Thank you so much, Mal. And there it is, and there's the merchandise. So there you go. So go enjoy that if you like, if you want to. You do whatever you want to do. Now have a lovely morning or afternoon or evening or night. And Hare Krishna. Have a swag 2020